right, welcome back to Shame-Ful Locks. My name is Gabriel Costa. This is my co-host here. Not sure on my left or right here, but Mr. Blake Profio. We are recording here on a Thursday night. It is halftime of the Cowboys-Giants game. Usually we like to record during the halftime of Thursday Night Football. Cowboys are winning 14-9 for those people who think we pre-recorded or anything, that we need to prove that we do this live and we are legit. We've got a lot of recapping to do. I know we didn't have a show last week, but some of us had some obligations we had to attend to. Some of us were traveling. Some of us we just couldn't find the time. But we're here for the people. We still went ahead and put out a graphic. I hope a lot of you saw it. I put that out on socials. But yeah, overall, it was not a good week last for us. So it was probably for the best that we didn't record. But you know what that means is that now we can say, oh, we're really bad when we don't record. So now we have to record. So we'll do some light recapping real quick here. So for week 2, that was the last video we made. I went 3-0. Blake went 2-1. We actually 5-1 overall. That's a really good week in my eyes. Actually, an exact repeat of week 1. So week 1 and 2, we were doing really well. Total of 10-2 for the first 2 weeks. Last week, like I said, we put out that graphic. We both went 1-2. I'll cover it very lightly because we didn't really have time to talk about it, just because it was a graphic. I had Packers money line, cash. They beat the Titans. Titans stink. I had Brock Bowers over 4.5 receptions. Panthers beat the shit out of the Raiders, and they pulled guys early, so that stunk. And then I had Steelers Chargers over 3.5 field goals. I feel like that should have cashed. That was my lock of the week, and there were 3 field goals made. Boswell missed a huge one, like 60 plus before half. Darn. And then the Steelers would have kicked another one if the Chargers could just get a stop. They had like 3 attempts to stop them, and the Steelers got 3 first downs and just ran out the clock. So, damn. I overall went 1-2 that week, lost 0.8 units. I am now. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll here. Got a lot of data here. I am now 7-2 on the year. I am 2-1 on my Shame-Ful Locks, being positive plus 481 units. Blake, 2 weeks ago you went 2-1. Nothing to hang your head down low on. Last week when we did the graphic, you went 1-2. You had Giants Browns under 39.5 dub. Which, hey, shout out Devin Singletary, am I right?
Shout out, big time. Yeah, it was big time.
He slid down at the 1, for those who did not see the game. Had the easiest touchdown ever. Decided to slide at the 1, run clock, end game. Huge respect for him just because Blake needed that. A lot of people were mad and saying that the NFL's rigged because of that. It is a smart decision to do, but we'll let you make your own opinion there. Your player prop of the week last week was Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions. I think that was a good play. He finished with 6, so you ended on the hook, unfortunately. When you made that pick, we weren't aware that T. Higgins was going to play, and I think if T. Higgins didn't play, I think he goes way over that, to be honest.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, and to be honest, I thought the Bengals were going to win that game, so I was kind of shocked that they got beat in the fashion they did, but as a Steelers fan, I'll take it. But
yeah, it is funny to talk.
Unfortunate betting wise.
It is fun to at work. The Steelers fan obviously, and everyone's like upset because there are other Browns or Bengals fans. I'm like, yeah, must suck not being 3-0, huh? Yeah, I don't even know why I said that. I just fucked us so bad just now. Anyway, your lock of the week was Travis Kelce over 48.5 receiving yards. I think he finished with like 37 or something like that.
Yeah, he's add him to the list of people not to bet on at all, probably for the rest of the year, just because I don't know, man. He's just too wrapped up in this Taylor Swift stuff. His career might be cooked, so we'll see.
Wow, hate that if you're Travis Kelce, but it's okay, Blake. You're still positive on the year, and it's still very early. You are 5-4 on the year. Positive 0.23 units. You are 1-2 on your best bets of your Shame-Ful Lock, so we'll try to pick that up. But I think you're going to dial it in this week. And then lastly, 2 weeks ago, our joint TD parlay. We did not do one last week just because we weren't here to talk about it. We are 0-2 on that, but again, most of those parlays we take, they're like plus 300. If we go like 6-9 like we did last year, we'll be fine. Again, don't put a lot of money on those. Put like $10. They're just for fun, little side bet. They're just something we do, like I said, for fun. Blake, week 4. You ready?
Week 4, man. We're due for a good week. We a little bit of a down week last week, but no show. What do you expect? It happens. That's karma. That's straight karma for us. So
Scheduling bug got us bad last week. As always, all we can say is we're due. Underdogs have been hot. I mean, I think I saw this is like the first time since I think it's like 20 some years where underdogs that are like underdogs of 6 or more points are like 13-2 or something like that on against the spread or something like that, which is there's been a lot of hard predictable games. So I'd argue game picks have honestly been the hardest right now.
Yeah, just that stat it might 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 affect one of my picks later, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, it's already locked in, so
it is locked. I'm not changing.
Without further ado, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so we'll start game picks since we were just talking about it. I know the spread is huge, but I'm taking San Fran minus 10.5 versus the Pats at home. I got that minus 105 on FanDuel. So last week, San Fran, they blew a huge lead to the Rams. I think it was 14 points, 21 points. I don't know. It was 14.
They were up 14.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. Rams came back, hurt Rams team, banged up team who doesn't really have a lot of weapons at the moment. So yeah, that was an embarrassing loss for San Fran. So I know they're missing Debo and Kittle and some of their other key guys who I believe are going to play this week. But the 49ers are back at home after an embarrassing loss on the road with the lead in the fourth quarter. This is just one of those picks where it's just based off feel. I think the 49ers are generally good at home, but this is completely based off feel. I know 10.5 is a lot of points, but I'm expecting San Fran to bounce back with the big performance against the Pats, who are kind of dog shit. I mean, to be honest with you. So,
they looked good.
We'll change it up.
They looked good week 1 and 2, taking the Seahawks to overtime and beating the Bengals. But again, you never know whatever the heck's going on in the first few weeks. They lose pretty badly to the Jets last week on Thursday Night Football. Would they lose by like almost 20 or something like that?
I think it was 24-7 or something, 24 something.
That sounds about
10,
right.
I don't know.
But no, I think this is a really good buyback spot. I think the spread is large for a reason. I mean, the 49ers are a good team, and when good teams get embarrassed and lose in an embarrassing fashion, what do they do next week? They usually bounce back and take their anger out on whoever the hell their unfortunate next opponent is, which happens to be the Patriots, who we don't think are very good. So I know you said it's a large spread, but I think it's a pretty good one.
We'll see.
I'll jump over to my game pick. This is going to be a really fun one, actually. I think this game's going to be nuts. I'm heading over to Bills-Ravens, and I'm going to take Bills money line. I grabbed that today at plus 116 on FanDuel. I just can't make sense of it. The Bills are undefeated. The Ravens are 1-2. I know the Ravens are at home, but the Bills have looked absolutely unstoppable, man. You're going to tell me that they're the underdog? I think they're plus 2.5. Josh Allen is, I think, currently the leader for MVP voting. Looks like they actually have a run game. It looks like ever since they got rid of Stephon Diggs, they have looked way better spreading around the ball. Josh Allen has. I feel like he's taken a lot back, a further back step, if you will, of taking that Superman cape off and having to do everything himself. I feel like he's like, you know what? James Cook is good with the football. Maybe I don't need to go head first 15 yards and dive for a first down. Maybe I'll let him do it. What do you know? It works out really well. But the Bills have been really good this year. They looked unstoppable. I think, honestly, they're the better team than the Ravens. I know it's crazy to say that the Ravens are going to start the season 1-3, but sometimes that's just the draw of the cards. I mean, they haven't had the easiest of matchups either. I know they beat the Cowboys, but who else have the Ravens played? They've lost to good teams, if I recall.
So they beat the Cowboys, lost to the Chiefs, and lost to...
Chiefs. They lost to the Raiders. That's right. I say that one's a fluke, but the Ravens are notorious chokers. If you were to say any one team is known to choke away a lead, everyone should say the Ravens.
Yeah.
I just think the Bills are the better team here. I know they're on the road, but give me the better team overall. I'm going to run with it.
Yeah, this was interesting. I like your pick. I like the reasons. I think the reasonings are good, but I was considering taking the Ravens. I think it's minus 2.5. I just think Ravens at home, night game. Bills haven't really been tested all that much. I mean, I know they had a close game with the Cardinals, but they smoked the Dolphins, smoked the Jags. It'll be a big test for them on the road with a bunch of young players. So it'll be a good game regardless, though.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football too. So I think this
Big
is probably the best Sunday Night Football game we've had so far, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But to be honest, this is probably like a top 5 matchup that I'd be like, oh yeah, shit, that sounds like a good game.
Bills Ravens, of course.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, game pick, you're up. Player prop.
Player prop. That's okay. So we're going to be rocking with Supreme Leaders guy, Jordan Love. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be taking him over 240 and a half pass yards, and I got that at minus 114 on FanDuel. So I know he's coming back from injury. So I'm hoping that people stay away from this line just because, I don't like being with the public. But to be honest with you, that first game he played against the Eagles, he was slinging the rock. I know his completion percentage wasn't good, but he had a lot of passing yards. I think he had 260 before he got hurt, which was like in 3 quarters. In Jordan Love's career, he averages 244 yards a game. Well, that was last year, sorry. Averaged 244 yards a game last year. And they're playing a bad Vikings pass defense who's allowed 270 pass yards a game to opposing quarterbacks. They've been thrown all over the Vikings defense. So I think Jordan Love has a lot of good young talent around him. And I think he's a really good quarterback, to be honest with you. So yeah, this 240 and a half seems kind of low. And I think it's because he's coming back from injury. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he has the weapons to do it. And I think he'll crush it.
I agree. I like this pick. I do hope he plays. I really hope this isn't one of those situations where they're kind of using him as a decoy, and then late Sunday he's a scratch. Which worst case scenario for you, that's a push. Oh well. Yeah. But no, I actually like the Vikings to win this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know the Vikings are underdogs here. It's in Lambeau, but since I like the Vikings, usually the losing quarterback you tend to throw for more because they're losing. 240 and a half. I think he's got good weapons. I think this is a good pick. I like it.
Yeah, talking about the Vikings, they're sneaky good. Like their offense, Sam Darnold, sneaky good, dude.
Dude, I think they're the surprise team of the year, at least so far. We'll see if it upholds and goes a little bit further. But definitely the surprise team of the year. And like I said, I was really close to picking them this week, but I ended up opting in for the Bills. All right, cool. I'll run over to my player prop for the week. I am going with Jahmyr Gibbs over 52 and a half rushing yards. They play on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. The Seahawks haven't been doing great on the rushing side of the defense so far, and they let up like 80 yards to the Patriots with Stevenson and Jahmyr Gibson, or is it Antonio Gibson? Antonio Gibson. Sorry, I'm getting my Gibsons all mixed up here.
Gibson.
Yeah, right. But no, they've been letting dudes run on them. I think the Lions will probably end up winning this game, and I think the Lions last week kind of flexed their muscles against the Cardinals and got back to being Lions and playing Lions football like they did last year with having that two-headed monster of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Both of them had like 80, 90 yards. I think Monty had over 100 and Gibbs had 80. The last 2 weeks, Gibbs has had 83 and 84 rushing yards in back-to-back weeks. Week 1, they didn't really end up going against the Rams, but it was Monty night. But no, I think definitely the last 2 weeks they've been given that one little 1-2 punch. Over 52 and a half should be very doable, especially if the Lions are trying to get back to their form they were last year. I got that at minus 105 on DraftKings. Sorry to say.
Yeah, I mean, Lions at home, Monday Night Football primetime. I think that's when they're at their best, honestly. That's when they're clicking. That's when the offense is going. But yeah, they've been dominating the run game so far this year. So 52 and a half, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that's a very obtainable number for him. So that's
nice. Yeah, I think Monty's was like in the 70s, which I was like, yeah, I think I'll take the guy who needs 50. Technically, I think Monty's the starter, but man, they run the heck out of them. They both are getting like 13 to 15 and 16 plus carries every game the last 2 weeks. So definitely. I think that's a formula they're going to try to stick with. I think they remembered, oh yeah, Jared Goff isn't the best quarterback when you have to lean on him the entire game.
Yeah.
I think they learned that when they lost to the Buccaneers and they remembered who they are. But after all that, it is that time of the week, Blake. Shameful lock time. Like I mentioned earlier, this is our best bet or our shameful lock. It could be any bet. That's our favorite pick of the week. I did mention you are 1-2 of these so far in the year. It's time to kick it into shape. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, so I'm going back to the pot. One guy who I already want to bet with so far this year. I'm going with my guy Najee Harris over 64.5 rush yards, and I got that at -115 on DraftKings. So Najee, we all know he's a workhorse back, and he's going to continue to be that because Jaylen Warren is out this week, or most likely. So yeah, Najee's going to get probably 80% of the carries. So so far this year, he's broken this line every single game. He's gone, I think, 69, 70, and 70 yards in the 3 games so far. And the Colts' rush defense is awful. They've allowed the most rush yards in the league by any team this year. They've allowed 537 rush yards, which is 179 rush yards a game. The Steelers' O-line has really been putting it together the last couple of weeks. Majority in the second half, but regardless, I think they're going to figure it out this game. I think they're going to run the crap out of the ball, and Najee's going to be that guy to be doing it. So 64.5, I think that's low for the season he's having so far.
I got to be honest, I'm really jealous of this pick. I sent my picks over this morning, and I was looking for this line, and the news of Warren had just broke, so they weren't giving us a line for this yet. So I was just like, damn, all right, fine. I found something I like better, or I guess not better, but I found something that was available at the time. I like both this and my lock equally. I am 100% going to put money on that. I think that's a great pick. Colts rush D is terrible. Backup running backs out. Give me Najee to do something that he's done in every week.
Yes,
I love it. I love it. All right, so for my shameful lock of the week, I am 2-1 so far on these this year. I lost last week. For the first 3 weeks, these were essentially my field goal bets of the week. But that, like I said, I was going to keep doing those until they lost, which they lost last week. So I'm running with a hear me out. You're going to need to hear me out on this one. This is a very weird looking pick, and I'll explain here. I'm going with DeAndre Swift under 39.5 rushing yards, which I know that sounds insane. Insane.
I love it, dude. He's on my one fantasy team, and he hasn't done anything. I don't know if he's gotten more than 20 yards in a game.
He's fucking terrible.
So bad.
40 yards for running back sounds absolutely insane to bet the under. But hear me out. The last 3 weeks, DeAndre Swift has gone 20 rushing yards, 18 rushing yards, and 30 rushing yards. The 30 rushing yards was week 2. No, that was week 1. My apologies.
Yeah.
He's terrible. And last week, they played against the Colts, who we were just talking about, have a terrible rush defense. And, I mean, he got nothing going. He had 20 rushing yards on the day. That's so bad.
It's awful.
So not only is he super underperforming, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily his fault. I'm not saying DeAndre Swift's a bad player, because I know he used to be really good, but I think it's the offensive line for the Bears is what's really the problem.
Terrible.
I think them in Cleveland right now are the worst offensive line in football. It's really bad. I know Caleb Williams is getting his ass beat, but like they really can't rush the ball at all, dude.
Nope.
I mean, and to add on this, the Bears came out and said now that Roschon Johnson, who out of Texas, is healthy, they plan to feature him as the back this week. So not only is Swift getting downgraded as a starter, this line is way above anything he's even gotten close to. He's gotten that 30 week 1.
Yeah.
39.5 under. I would say definitely shop this one around though, because this has definitely been dropping. I grabbed this at 39.5 at -125 on Bet365. And I've already seen this drop down to 35.5, 37.5. So grab it while it's hot. Hopefully it's still around at the line I just gave out. But I know it's a crazy pick. You're going to call me a madman, people, but the data just backs this one up. Backup running back, essentially, to do something he hasn't done as a starter. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to run it.
Yeah, I had a bench him on my fantasy team just because it was so bad, and that offensive line is going to get Caleb Williams killed. They can't They can't run block. They can't pass block. They can't do anything. Yeah, the Bears are a mess right now. I'll be honest. They thought Caleb Williams was going to come in and fix everything, but when you don't have an offensive line, you're not going to be successful. We've seen that year after year in the NFL.
Looks
so
like Justin Fields wasn't the issue.
Just maybe saying. Not. Shout out QB1.
Hey, representing right now. 3-0.
Back.
Oh yeah.
Picture frame.
Yeah. Thank you. Can't forget my Seinfeld jersey. All right, so those are our 3 picks we're rolling with this week. We will be going with a joint TD parlay here in a second. Like I mentioned, just do really small dollars on this. We do $10 on this a week. Again, they're always plus money, like plus 300 or something like that. So as long as we don't lose by 10 on these, we should be fine. We are 0-2, but this week, for those who aren't aware, we both just pick one person with score a touchdown, parlay the 2 guys, and roll it. We don't have the odds with us right now, just because we still need to shop them around real quick. But they will be posted somewhere around here. I think up here. I think here. No, I'm thinking here. Anyway, they will be posted. So we're pretty excited about that. And Blake, you want to start us off there?
Yeah. So I kind of just looked at the books and I scrolled to a game, clicked on it, and I just clicked on Josh Allen. I think that's a safe bet. Primetime Josh Allen. Yeah, he's gonna. You know him. He goes hero mode, and he's going to run one in. It's just what he does. So.
Yeah, I think he scored in 2 of the 3 games already, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not a bad pick.
Probably, yeah.
I'm going with another running back. I feel like I pick running backs every week, but it's not intentional. I just feel like I got a good feeling about it. I'm going with Brian Robinson Jr., the running back for the Washington Commanders. He has scored in 2 of the first 3 games this year. He is kind of in a committee with Austin Eckler, but Austin Eckler is not playing this week. He has a concussion. So it should just be Brian Robinson Jr.'s backfield. They're playing the Cardinals, and I think that game has the highest over-under of the week, so hopefully they're expecting a lot of points. Hopefully Brian Robinson can get in there just once. If he wants to go in there for twice, hey, power to him, man. But all we need is 1. Like I said, we don't have the odds right now just because we haven't gone through every book and find out where the best odds are available. But they'll be posted up above as our chief editor and supreme leader will, as always, give us our beautiful, great-looking graphics.
Big time. But it's going to be a great week. We're going to hopefully go 6-0 and win that touchdown parlay.
We haven't won one yet, which means we're due, if you think about it.
We're overdue, pal. Overdue. We're not due. We're overdue.
But no, I think we had a really strong start of the season. Obviously a setback last week, but hopefully we can keep up that momentum we have when we actually are able to come out and record. But yeah, week 4 is already here. I think time's flying. Leaves are changing. My hair is growing back. I can't believe it's week 4 already. That's so fast.
Did you bet field goals tonight?
I did not. I did, and
it already hit.
I know. I pulled it. I pulled it for a bet that is already really close to hitting. I just need the Dallas Cowboys money line to cash. So as long as the Cowboys win, I won't be mad if they lose. I'll shake a fist angrily, if you will.
Yep, it happens.
All right, that'll wrap us up for week 4 of the NFL. Hopefully we come back next week and see you for week 5, and hopefully we've got some winners to talk about. Till then.
Peace.